There we are. There we are. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. And you will see today, this is our first rodeo together, but I think this lady needs no introduction. She is Sheila from Celtic Tarot, and this is our first collaboration together. Now, we know it's a Monday night. Yeah, it's a Monday night, but we're here to sprinkle a bit of insight and answer some of your questions. So Sheila, I want to say thanks so much for the collab. And from what I understand, let's see, it's the 6th, Monday, the 6th of February, 2023. And am I correct that your birthday of your channel is tomorrow? Would you like to share that with us?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. This has been a long time coming. I know that we have emailed back and forth. But anyways, so I am so happy to be here as well. I just smiling from ear to ear that I actually get to meet you, even if it's via, video. Thank you for that. And I did my first video March 7th of 2020. I just saw it on my calendar. So it's been 3 years that I have started, and as many of the other ones, we all started because Trump got into office and we were feeling a certain type of way that we needed, and we got that how would spirit jump to get some information out into the world to help with the disinformation. I think a lot of it is let them know that it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through, and Biden is going to be president. And that was kind of my whole 2020 a year, was literally just hammering in what kind of person Trump was, and that Biden's going to win, and things like that. Some of them we missed out. Mitch McConnell said that he wasn't going to win, but he got in. Some of them, those were the disappointing ones. We're like, what happened? What's going on? But we think cheating really happened.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's been a similar experience for me, because it makes me, on March 30th this year, my channel will be 3 years old as well. So we started within weeks of each other.
Fantastic.
Isn't that remarkable?
I think I saw you, I don't remember where I saw you first, but I know that you were explaining charts.
Oh, and yeah.
I'm the tarot card reader who all of that is like wah, 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 like Charlie Brown talking. So when you came on and you were explaining, I'm like, oh, he makes so much sense. And he had the chart and he had the education behind that, and I was like, okay, I like this guy and his accent. I mean, really.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So yeah, really interesting times, isn't it? 3 years on, we're 3 years in now. Like you said, many of us responded, I think, just spiritually and energetically to that call, didn't we? I think we just all felt it like, wow, this is profound. And I think we kind of have to say, almost kind of 3 years on, I mean, it has been a wild ride, hasn't it, folks? Yeah. And it's not done yet. There's been so much cray and then some, but we will continue on, obviously sharing as much knowledge and stuff as we can. And as you said, none of us are perfect, and sometimes we get roasted in the comments every now and then.
Boy, do
rightly or wrongly, we've all been there. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to share some contemporary questions with people, and then I've also woven in a couple of flashback questions, as I refer to them, questions I weren't able to maybe put in some shows that were worthy of mentioning, but there wasn't time. Right, so these will be pretty much cold reads, especially for Sheila, but Sheila loves a cold read.
I do.
And she's going to let rip with her intuition and her talents, which I really look forward to experiencing. So are you ready for the first question, Sheila?
I am ready, but I have a question for you.
Ooh.
Is that your first name, Hogarth?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a family name that I've never heard of it before, ever. So
it's a good question. I'll explain. It's a very, rare name. So I was named after someone called William Hogarth, who was a 17th century painter and 18th century painter and engraver. He did all of these illustrations about society, invented copyright and all of this different kind of stuff. And my mum was really into his artworks and everything like that. So I have Hogarth as a first name when it's normally a last name. So actually, I technically have no first name because all my names are middle names. Neville, my middle name is Neville, last name is Brown. So they're all last names. But thanks for asking.
Yeah, it's very interesting, very intriguing. Hogarth.
Yeah, it's a very old name. Apparently, it's from Old High Norse, so the old equivalent of the old Scandinavian language, the old Swedish language. And a Hogarth or a Hoggart can mean high enclosed garden. There you are.
High enclosed garden.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it's midnight at where you're at right now, right?
We're getting close. I'm it's just after 11 where I am now. Yeah, 11 p.m. So when we're done, we're going to go for about an hour. I should be done by midnight, so which isn't too bad.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Normally. So yeah, that kind of makes everybody realize where we're at because I'm at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So indeed.
All
right. Now I'm ready.
Oh. You ready? All right, let's go. So this one has come in from Beth M, and she says, "Will Norfolk Southern Railway be financially held liable for all the derailments of their trains? There have been at least 2 in Ohio in the last month, and it says 1 in Mitch and others." And in other states. So I understand there was the big chemical spill, but is it correct that there has been more since, or am I getting that wrong?
So I thought there was 3, but I know 2 for sure. I knew 2 for sure, the big chemical, and then just the other day, another one. It wasn't carrying any chemicals or anything, but it also derailed from problems with, all of that. So I do know that I forget the EPA or ET, whatever it is that makes them hold them accountable for the financial of them, that came out and they strongly worded they will be paying for all of the cleanup. They will be paying for all of the doctor bills. They will be paying for this and they will be paying for that. And they said if they have to come in and do it, they will charge them, I think it was double of what they are going to do. So there is that in play. My question with that question is, are they going to actually pay? Are they going to actually do it? You know what I mean? Because we have that has been in play where they're going to be held accountable, and they come out and said that. I want to see if this company, how corrupt or how not, or
So will they actually pay? Right. Thanks for that clarification. Because of course I'm here in the UK, and
yes.
As much as I watch the news, I can't, be abreast of the full details because I'm just, somewhere else.
Yeah. No, we get your news 3 days later, so I can only imagine how it is to go the opposite way to you. So
yeah, it's a lot of catch up.
Yeah. 3 total derailments, 2 in Ohio and 1 in Michigan. That's what I was thinking. That's where the third one I thought came from. Okay, cool.
I mean, this infrastructure and everything, we all know it all needs to be sorted out. While you're still shuffling, I'll do some little quick click ups. I won't leave them up, otherwise, people complain. They go, I can't see the cards. So, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Libra Lady was saying 3 derailments, 2 in Ohio, 1 Michigan. My goodness. Okay, so Sheila, as you are guest, you get to go first. And what do your cards have?
Well, I got my old Celtic tarot deck out, which is one of my favorites. So the pictures really say a lot. So this guy here is being held accountable. Do you see all the wands that are pointed at him? this can only be, I think, the rail company, correct? Like you're going to be held accountable, and he's on his big old bull, and he's on his stance, and they're just standing there, but the wands are there. Now I have the Empress. Now the Empress really talks about, it gets in there and starts talking about how we're going to proceed. These are the procedures. This is what we're going to do. The Empress is like getting together the plan. Here's the plan. This is what we want you to follow. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which really talks about their money, being held accountable for their money, like the Ace. This is going to be top notch, high on the bar, on the stair steps. You're going to be paying a high, big price. Now, here's something really interesting after that whole situation. We're holding you accountable, and it's going to be a price. The Tower comes. It may financially bankrupt them. It may financially just take them out of the equation when it comes to a company with the trains. And this is the Three of Pentacles, where they're just trying to evoke a better narrative, and we're not all that bad. And here, here's they're praying to the gods. Please don't think bad of us. Don't think to think bad at us. We've got to change our name. We've got to change how they think of us. They're going to try to really evoke some magic in that. So I do think that they are already. It's going to be an incredible price, but I don't know what that Tower moment, if they're able to even get that price.
Wow. Oh, goosebumps. Yeah, really, really interesting. And in many ways, this is actually the first time I'm actually tackling the Ohio question. I let it do the rounds and stuff like that. So this is my first kind of read on it. And I really only don't know so much. What I will say is I'll do a quick click up here where Rosie Blue, so she's saying babies, kids, adults now have nervous system problems, seizures, rashes, lungs. Oh man, so obviously it's the chemical stuff. Okay, what do I have? So I pulled 5 cards. Now the first card that I get here is the Six of Cups. Now the benign interpretation for this is the card of nostalgia. Refers, it can refer to childhood, the past, rose-tinted glasses, etc. and stuff like that. But the way I actually interpret this, for me, it's almost like this is how the railways used to be, when they were maintained once upon a time, probably back in the 50s and 60s, before it was all privatized in the 80s, and we all know what happened since. So I think also as well, this can be talking about also as well the people of Ohio, a certain nostalgia, wanting to kind of look back until, before the time the accident happened. But something that I remember Duck Larange, my nickname for Trump, as you know. Do you remember when he stood next to those piles of legislation? Those rules and regulations. You remember one was like huge like this, and he was like, this is what we have now. And then he went, and there was a lower pile, and he was like, this is what we had in the 50s. And then there was an even lower pile where he's like, this is what we're going to end up. And it was basically almost like 2 sheets of A4 paper. Yeah. So I think this is also about Duck Larange, who directly reduced the regulation, harking back to this kind of age of nostalgia, where everyone could do what they wanted. Anyway, what's the obstacle? The false message, potentially the false knight. Yeah, so Sheila, I think my cards are chiming with yours, which is it going to be lip service? Are they actually going to pay, or is it going to be lip service? Are they going to sweet talk and then try and get out of it? Yeah. This is them feeling what? Embattled. This is also the people of Ohio, of course, who are tragically having to deal with all of these symptoms, if this is the case. But I think it also represents the energy of this company. What are they called again? They are, what is it? Norfolk Southern Railway. This is them embattled, maybe trying to get out of it. Look at this. Everyone's got sleepless nights. Worried about everything that's happened here. And the outcome card, not the best. Dear.
That outcome card kind of coincides with my Tower card.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we know it's not always literal death. Sometimes, sadly, it can be. And I hope no one dies as a result of this chemical spill, because it's a big deal. Chemicals are very powerful things, and they often, it takes time for their full effects to often express themselves. But I think, Sheila, like you were saying with your tarot card, this could be potentially devastating for this company. And they could face so many lawsuits. It could either be the end, it could be bankruptcy, or they're just going to have to completely transform, rename, and start again.
Agreed. And we have to mention that the animals that have died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the cows, the horses, the people came back to their homes with the dogs had died. The fish, the frogs in the lakes. Yeah. No joke.
Wow.
So they had a lot of animals that have died. So
yeah. That death card was correct then. Wow.
And I hope that, and some children that may not be as healthy as a healthy child may have complications. You know, it's just ongoing. But anyways,
it's terrible, isn't it? It's just terrible.
Terrible.
Thanks for that question, Beth. And we'll have to see how it goes. But I think as things emerge, especially in this day and age, oh, look at that. Do you see? I just went through the shuffle. Do you see? There's me shuffling and a card twisted in the deck. Look at the card that twisted in the deck as I started my shuffle.
Oh, Tower suspense. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, and you know what? This also could be the community as well that is going to fall into ruin because of this as well.
Of course. How do you sell a house?
Yeah.
How do you sell a house when you've had a chemical spill just down the road?
Or food. How do you accept food from Ohio?
That's a really good point.
Because the ground is saturated with this chemical. And now they're trying to grow our food that we want to eat. I mean, I see something that says, oh, I don't want nothing to do with it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. So the ruin.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of food that's grown in the Midwest, isn't there?
Wow. Yeah, Ohio especially. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We'll have to see. So I think maybe what we're picking up in the cards is that the cards are not only showing us the impact of now, but it looks like they're showing us the impact, the future impact, where it just might become a bit of a no-go. Wow. Hadn't thought of that. The vegetables as well. Fruit. Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for the next question?
I am ready. And you know, prayers and thoughts and prayers, but that's not what I mean for the people who are in Ohio. Truly, I mean, the ones that get out if you can. That's really. Yeah. But anyways, yes, I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so here we are. Question number 2. Where are we? Here we are. This has come in from Erica Smith. Now, this is fascinating, and I'm going to need your talents on this one, Sheila. I'm going to need your talents on this one because this is quite an esoteric question, but there's more to it. Okay, so Erica Smith, thank you so much for your question. And she said, when my mother passed, I was clearing out her house. In her bedroom was a large mirror that was facing her bed. Every time I looked at the mirror, I got a really bad feeling. So bad that I covered it with a woolen blanket. Fast forward 5 years later, and I walked into a store selling estate furniture. On the walls were several large mirrors. I looked at some of these mirrors and got the same feeling of absolute dread. I had to leave the store. What was that experience all about? Oof.
Let me Google this, but I do know that there are mirror empaths and there's mirror. Yeah, I heard of them before, that they are mirror empaths, meaning whatever that mirror has reflected, she receives the energy in the reflection. If she sat in front of that, according to the information that I've experienced, if she sat in front of that mirror long enough, she would be able to receive the visions of what this mirror has reflected throughout its life. Chills again.
Shivers. Because when you were saying that, and it's just something that I'm reminded of that has been, as you know, has been part of folklore and magic for years and years and years. And what do they say? They say mirrors and still bodies of water that reflect our portals, our gateways, the looking glass. And I just, oh my gosh, I didn't know about that. Mirror empaths.
Yep. I had to Google it again, and I'm sure somebody's Googling it right now, but there are mirror empaths or mirror, whatever they're called. Anyhow, and you're absolutely right. They're like a unique empath that they can sit in front if they can naturally do it. So she's walking in there and she's already there, available to that energy. You and I may have to work at it. She is like,
for her, it's just
with
natural.
the gift right now. Yep.
Wow. And what I'll do is, of course, when it comes to me reading my cards, it's going to be you're going to find it very interesting. The card that fell out, which symbolized it. Wow. And if anyone in the comments as well knows anything as well about mirror empaths or have had similar experiences, then please let us know. Fascinating subject that I'd never heard of before.
She said, anyone with 9 energy or 9 always reflects whatever other numbers are and reduces down to the other number. I don't know what that means, but I'm thinking reduces down the other numbers. That's interesting. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of magic in what she's experiencing. What do you want me to go first? Is that what?
Sure, go for it. I've got some very interesting cards.
I do. I actually have the Knight of Pentacles. You know, some people read the tarot cards a little different, but the Knight is that person who is not in college anymore. They're stepped out into their job and they've been there for 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? And they're realizing everything they learned in college is worthless.
I have never heard that. I love that though, but you're right. That would be the energy of the Knight of Pentacles.
Yeah, so here's my Knight of Pentacles. He's on his dragon. He's got his shield. He's going through the clouds and coming out the other way. I've got to get unclouded. I've got to get unfiltered through what I had just been through and learned, and he's learning through life. So this is a good indication where they're coming through the clouds and she's becoming unfiltered. She has starting to see more, experience more. Her whatever internal work that she has been doing is working. So continue on for sure. Because I have another one with dragons. Now she may want to look up her connections with dragons at this point. But here's another one, and it's like 3 dragons, and they're the 3. You know, the unity, the fire, the bigness of her talents are starting to come through. So I got that 3 of Pentacles, that unity. And then I have 5 of Wands. My mistake. 5 of Wands. The 3 of Pentacles is next. The 3 of Pentacles were again. So her journey in doing all of this, I would love to know exactly what she has been doing within her journey, because it's starting to really, really work. And she's starting to absorb and understand. And biggest thing for her is trusting the information that's coming through. You know, having that teaching, standing in the middle of chaos and still just hearing the voice of spirit. Now that is a place of awakening. If you can, I used to say this, I was in a bowling alley and they had the disco balls going and loud music was going and everybody's bowling and stuff like that. And I remember hearing a voice of God or spirit or whatever in the midst of all of that. And I thought to myself, aha, you see, we can hear it within the chaos. And that's what she has been doing. And then we have right here, where he is seeing it. He has his focus. He has his focus. So what she's been experiencing is her gifts as a mirror medium or a mirror empath.
Wow. That is fascinating. And we just got some encouragement that came through for us. Thank you, Flora, for reminding everyone. Oh, and I forgot to say it as well. And if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. But not only just to my channel, to Sheila's as well. And the link to description of Sheila's video is in the video description below. So if you're seeing Sheila for the first time and you love her gifts and eloquence, then of course feel free to subscribe as well and stuff like that. Fascinating. I really like the way you look at the cards, and it gives it another another perspective, and particularly on this woman's gift. Now my cards have come out very dramatic. Now this often happens.
Yay!
As you saw me, I was shuffling. And you know, she was talking about that impending sense of doom. So it seems like my cards have spoken about maybe some of the feelings that were coming through, maybe what she was sensing. Now, look, the first card that dropped out, 10 of Swords, right? Now, as we know, this is, it's not an easy card, but 10s are cards of completion. But we can see this is about betrayal. And I was shuffling, thinking on her question, and this is what fell out. So maybe this is part of this impending sense of doom. Maybe there's a great betrayal in some way that she's picking up on, and it's almost been overwhelming. Look at the next card, the Tower. Back again. You saw me shuffling, this, that, and the other. So really, technically, this is the third time, because you pulled the Tower in your first reading. No. Yeah, and then I was shuffling, and then it twisted out of the deck, and then it's come back. So this is the third showing. So there's something, maybe she's anticipating something shocking or unsettling that maybe no one else is seeing. And maybe this is why she has to kind of run away. If we look here, 7 of Wands, so maybe there's a sense of embattlement, you know, feeling that she has to kind of, because it must be quite isolating having this sense, you know, this, you know, imagine that you see your mother's mirror and you can't look at it, you cover it, and then 5 years later you think that event has passed and you go into another place with mirrors and you get the same feeling again. So it's almost like this is her fighting on the hill, almost with that, with these insights and instincts that she's getting. However, I think just like with you, here we've got the Ace of Wands, which is about fertility, new beginnings, something emerging. It's a positive yes card. So I think, Sheila, you're right. These are gifts that she has that are growing. Even though the messages that she's getting might be scary ones, nonetheless, this is a gift and a talent. And if we look here, the next card that comes out is the Hermit card. So she's got 2 major arcana that have come out. So this is about, on the more difficult side, it can feel like isolation, but this can also be about searching within, isn't it? The light within. There's something here that is illuminating with her that she should explore. Even if she finds it scary, I think she should go there and she should charge forward. Yeah. I'm going to interpret this card as a more positive thing, in the sense of this is almost spirit willing her to take action, because there's something that that Erica is tapping into, which might feel a bit scary, but it's always kind of scary when we get this extra knowledge. But I'm with you, Sheila. I think she needs to explore, because something within her is actually developing and growing.
Very good. Yeah, well, empaths normally start off by feeling the strongest emotions that we have: scared, fear, anger, right? Those are the easy ones to feel.
Yeah, you're right. Really good point. But there's something more going on there, but explore it. Although it's scary, Erica, it's worth it. We need, such are the times that a lot more light workers are coming online. Wouldn't you agree, Sheila? There's a lot of people now waking up.
Agreed. Early. The waking up early is my feeling.
Now, Absolutely. Now this is a political question. I would say it's quite funny, but in a way it's not. But it is kind of funny and it's kind of not. So this is coming from Judy Gulev. Shout out to you, Judy. Love Judy. And she asks, will Santos spill the tea under questioning? Hopefully he'll tell all. So I think he's facing, am I correct? He's facing committee investigation or something like that. So
is she wanting to, so I'm confused about the question a little. So she's wanting to know if Santos, if he testifies, he'll throw the tea out on the party?
Well, I think when she means spill the tea, it's kind of like, will he reveal some juicy secrets? So it's one of these more modern slangs where you say, when someone spills the tea, they divulge more than you might have been expecting. And look what's come up at the base for me, which often represents institutions and stuff like the GOP. So let's have a look. Now, we know Mr. George Santos is a liar of such epic proportions that even Duck Larange, when you get the liar incarnate himself, who says, "Man, you told some whoppers."
Oh yeah.
I mean, can you imagine Duck Larange if you get Trump saying, "Man, those were some whoppers"? I mean,
yeah, you shocked the top liar. Then you're a liar.
Exactly. It's just like, you are just beyond. And I just had to laugh when I heard that statement, because, you know, one of my things, what I say about Trump, I say his gift is grift. Yeah, his gift is grift. Yes. But this guy, let me tell you, Duck Larange could sell lives to cats. That's what he could do. He's got more lives than a cat. I
know. It's unbelievable. Well, that's the plan. They lie so much that they confuse everybody, and then nobody's paying attention to anything anymore because they cannot absorb any more lies. That's what's going on. That's exactly what they're going on. Is all of the MAGAs are stopped paying attention to media because they can't absorb anymore.
Yeah,
and that's how they get them. That's how they get their when they tell them to do something, they'll do it. And that's here we are.
Point. I haven't thought of it in that way, in the sense of, so what you're suggesting is that they tell so many lies that they literally exhaust people.
Yeah.
Would you say? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
They exhaust them, and so it's almost like a child sticking with an abusive parent. They know that their parent is abusive, and they lie, and they do this, and they do that, and they do that, and they're so saturated with it that they're not going to listen to anybody else tell them anything, because why? That's my dad. So there's a direct line. That's it. There's no more discussions. And that's what it is with the GOP. With them, it's like, that's my president. Stop talking about, I want to hear no more. I'm not going to listen to it anymore. I don't care. He's mine.
Wow. I think you're right. I think you're right.
It's a sad thing. I have, wow. So I have painful ending for him, and it's going to come with a quickness. I have the Chariot.
And the Ten of Swords. Do you see how the cards are repeating? This is incredible.
I do, yeah. Wow. So I have the Chariot with the Ten of Swords. So I have a painful ending. I have deep wounds and betrayal. Also with that Ten of Swords, right? So betrayal on there, and it's going to come quick and triumphant. It's you know how. So Santos is egotistical, of course. There's the only way to explain his grandiose ideas and lies. So if he's going to be moved out, what's going to make him even more famous is to throw some tea.
Of course.
Because I have the steady horse. Steadfast. He's not going to move away from who he is. Steadfast. But judgment is coming for the boy.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
if he can make that opportunity of being more famous, he's gonna take it.
Do you know what? What I'm gonna say is this, and this may seem totally crazy, but this is kind of what I see. George Santos is so cray-cray, so over the top that I could see. You know what they might do? I can't remember who said it, but someone once said, and there seems to be a lot of truth to it, which is that there's no such thing as bad publicity. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have.
And George Santos is such an outlandish character, so parodied already, such a part of the landscape of people's minds. They may either give him his own reality TV show, yeah, or he's going to turn up on RuPaul's Drag Race or something like that, or he's going to go, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like, as long as he can avoid jail, I think, as long as he can avoid jail, he's so outlandish that those people that want to make money off him are going to be like, because he's a household name. People will just kind of watch.
I agree. Just like with children, any attention is good attention. They can do things bad, they can do things good, whichever way gives them attention.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
That is him.
Yeah, which is why they say when a child is behaving badly, the best thing you can do, ideally, is try to ignore it, because they will play up. So again, I got very dramatic cards again, but very straightforward. Out of the 5 cards that I've pulled, 4 are major arcana.
Oh.
So this is a big deal. Look at the card that symbolizes the reading.
Oh.
I mean, it's just like, do we need to say any more? We know what the devil is about: lies, deceit, cheating, all of that stuff, dodgy deals. In many ways, you know what? This, in many ways, for me, symbolizes the situation that the GOP has got itself into, because they're entangled now with all sorts of characters. This is like a George Santos, but it could also be Duck LaRange, it could be DeSantis, it could be any one of them, but they're all tangled up together. And of course, this can deal with corruption, lies, deceit, the whole shebang. But there you are. It sums it all up, doesn't it?
It does.
Next major arcana card, which kind of comes in the obstacle position, but look, we've got the Hanged Man.
Oh.
So this is kind of like, in a way, what this says to me is, everyone, like, if we put this into a GOP kind of perspective, everyone wants rid of this guy. But what is it? They need his votes.
They do.
They need his votes. Because their majority is so skinny right now, emaciated, yeah? So they have to go along with all of this BS, yeah? Because they are
emaciated. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on emaciated. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to interrupt your reading, but that was hilarious.
But it's so true, because like, when I think of their majority, it makes me think of beef jerky. Do you know what I mean? All shriveled up. It's just this tiny little kind of thing. So there's the GOP, like, oh my God. Yeah. What do we do? Mitch McConnell, McCarthy, everyone. Marjorie Taylor Greene is also in there as well. But look at this. 5 of Swords and abuse of power. I mean, these cards are so literal, aren't they? So he's abused his power. We know why, because he's been lying. I mean, we know Duck LaRange lies, yeah? But he will say, for example, here's my piece of real estate. It's 65,000 feet when it's only 12,000 feet, yeah? But at least the piece of real estate exists.
Right. Embellishment, but it does have a little bit of a truth to it.
You can go to it and you can go, Dr. LaRange, I think you were lying about that, but there's a building to go to. This guy is just complete abuse of power. There's no building or anything at all. We're not even sure if this is the real person. And what is he lying about? The government. Look, Hierophant. Which deals with government and authority figures and stuff like that. So he's now, by an abuse of power, he's now got his official position. However, look at the outcome card, the world card, beginnings and endings, endings and beginnings. So the whole world is watching, but this could look like maybe it's the ending of a cycle for him. However, I think McCarthy's going to try and keep him around for as long as he's useful. And I think the second he can get rid of him, he will. But when he goes, I think Santos will spill the tea. He's going to come out with some revelation. I think we're going to find out he's a rent boy, by the way, but that's just my little thing.
A rent boy.
Yeah, I think he may have been at one
point. A rent to Trump? A rent to Trump.
I mean, who knows? But he will know stuff. So Santos is a really tricky enemy to have because he's got no limits. So when it comes to him, you know, losing his money, which, I mean, this is the guy that stole people's clothes and wore them on national TV. Do you know what I mean? And but I think if he is forced out, I think he will spill the tea. And look, I've just shuffled. Look what's at the base of the deck.
Delusions.
Delusions. Would you like to add anything to that, Sheila, before we move on?
No, that was hilarious. I'm still stuck on emaciated, but no.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's just that majority is just woof. Okay, so this is a bit more, I don't know anything about this person, and maybe Sheila, you might know some more. So this is coming from Dana Masuk, and she says there is a 64-year-old man named Larry Atchison who has dementia. He walked out of his house in Santa Rosa, California on February 27th. Is he still alive? She asks. The police have been searching but cannot find him. I find the moon at the base of the deck. So I'm relying more on you on this one, Sheila.
What was his name again? What was
He's
his name?
called Larry Atchison.
Larry Atchison.
Yeah, so Atchison.
I just want to get a picture of him. Larry Atchison.
And he disappeared on Feb 27th. Is he still alive? Oh, crikey, I don't know, you know. Just see what the cards say.
Well, here's I don't feel passing. So I'm curious of why I don't feel passing, because ordinarily, if an elderly has been gone that long, you feel it right away. And I don't feel it right away. So Larry Atchison. ATCH?
Yeah, what's she written? ATCHISON. Atchison.
At risk, Santa Rosa still missing 22 as of 22 hours ago. I don't think he's gone. What do you feel? I really don't. I think he's still alive. And I don't know.
My cards seem to suggest it. Would you like me to go on this one? We could
go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Now, this is a complete cold read, guys. Complete cold read. But this is what I get about the question. Now, the first card that comes up is a very optimistic one. Look, it's the Sun. Now, this is a university. It's a positive card. So in terms of the question, is he still alive? Maybe there's hope. Maybe he is still alive. Yeah. So there's that. Now, the card that's come in sort of like the opposition position, as it were, is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is about home and security, looking after things. Look how closely she's looking at that coin. But in this context, it's almost as if the coin or someone or something of value has slipped from her hands. So he's obviously kind of got out and potentially wandered off. Yeah. Here we've got the King of Wands, and this is about spirit, passion, entrepreneurship, endeavor, going out, yeah, walking through the flames, so to speak. So this could be part of the ongoing search, which is looking for him now. And it could also talk as well maybe about he may have had an episode of adventure, quite literally. He suffers from dementia, so he may have just had an episode or flashback to a younger, more vigorous time, and he's just like, I'm going out on my own. But when we look here, Two of Swords, this suggests that he's probably, if he is still out there, he's likely confused.
Yeah.
Literally, could be literally lost, you know,
Yeah.
because the Two of Swords, isn't it? It's about not sure which direction to choose, where to go in, blindfolded, unsure about the future. So he's probably feeling a bit scared and confused. And then the last card I get, look, it's the Five of Pentacles. So it's like he's wandering out there in the wilderness. So I hope they find him. I hope there's not too many more cold snaps that can come and affect him. But there he is. I think he's still out there wandering somewhere. What do you get, Sheila?
Yeah, ironically, my first card up was the Seven of Pentacles. That hard work, that concentration. So that was really weird for me, because I'm thinking, hard work, is it him that's hard work, or is it somebody else that's hard working after him or looking for him? I also got the Page of Cups, that creative opportunity. Whoever's looking for them is looking in all the wrong places, all the right places, you know, ins and outs of everything. But the anxiety is there, the worry for him, the worry for the person who is watching. So I think I'm getting a duality here in this, because the future planning and the discovery. So I see discovery and the discovery of him. I also see Hermit, meaning he was placed somewhere. Maybe he's in a hospital, in a psych ward, or something along the lines where somebody just doesn't know who he is, but he's being hermit, he's being sheltered, he's being something. And then the last three cards, I threw more. I was like, okay, after being a hermit, what does that mean? I do see the family, the loved ones, and the strength of finding him. So eventually, I think they're going to find him. However, he may not be in the best shape ever, because I have the worry card.
Yeah.
He
and
may not.
I got the poverty card as well. So I think they're going to have to find him quite quickly, because he's obviously going to be getting hungry, thirsty and stuff if he's still out there.
I think maybe there's a lot of homeless people there, right? And a lot of homeless people do not watch the news. So if this gentleman has wandered into one of their camps, somebody has noticed that there's something wrong. He may be hermit. He may be you know what I mean? That's what I think is happening at this point in time, is they are just taking care of him until, and they don't know that he's like belongs to somebody. There's a lot of mental illness in the community.
Yeah,
that's what it kind of feels like. But it does feel like loved ones do find him eventually.
Wow, because you know what? Because she says Santa Rosa, California, and I think you're onto something. Because from, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but understand there is a huge homelessness thing, isn't there? Particularly in California. And I think with that hermit card, I think you're right, because when I tune into that, it's almost like because the hermit, one of the words is like hermetically sealed. It means to be contained.
Yeah.
So it could be he might be being contained by a community that may be even potentially looking after him. Yeah. But this poverty card suggests that if it may not be wealthy people that are looking after him. It could be the poor, quite literally, people that are out in the cold.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I don't feel at this moment in time, I don't read on if somebody's going to die or pass, so I don't have any of that. But at this moment, I don't feel that he is passed.
So fascinating. Yeah, with that Sun card. Let's hope he is found alive and well. Right. I think we've got time for one more question. So let's see here. Here we are. So this has come in from Susan Lovato. So she's written, what do the cards plus astrology say for a potential stock market crash / fall / recession in the fall? Have you heard about this? Quite a lot of astrologers and psychics have been talking about a potential market correction. I've not really looked into it much yet, but what are your hits on that, Sheila? And have you seen
A
other
market
people
correction, a crash, something derailed, something new coming in, a new idea? Is that what they're asking?
Sort of, yeah. So there's some people that have been saying basically in the fall that there'll be a big recession and the wheels are going to, the wheels are going to come off. But what are your instincts on that?
Okay. I keep on trying to visualize that remote viewing, visualizing the lines up and down, and none of it ever goes red. It's all blue. So there's that. But let me get my cards out. Let's see what the cards have to say. This is an incredible cold read for me because I do not follow that at all.
Well, I love it. It means you just go, isn't it? Just with your intuition.
Yep.
It's a cold read for me as well. Not in detail, anyway. Oh. Ooh.
Well, isn't that interesting? I got the strangest ups and downs.
Right. What do you have? Go for it.
I have caution, the Hermit. The Hermit has come out all the time, but this is caution.
Again? Oh my God.
So caution, the Hermit. It goes steady. But then a betrayal. So I'm thinking that's probably a tank somewhere. Something happens. Something makes it. But we have the Knight of Wands, the energetic, the inspiration. Something comes, whips up, and things get better again. You know what I mean? And fast. I got fast movement, and it'll happen fast. And then, the star is wonderful when you're asking if somebody gets, the star and they're getting bright. But star is also loss. So star can also be the loss on this. So the loss, the theft, and the abandonment of star. The reason why is because the suggested brightness, somebody could lose the suggested brightness. Like they're not taking the correct actions to do that. But that's another dip, I think. Somebody was taking the wrong actions, but at the end of the whole thing, I get the King of Pentacles. So I don't think so. I think the ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we're fine. Do you hear my dogs?
Oh, no, it's all good.
Okay, good. But at the end of the day, I think it's okay. But we're going to go through, but it's nothing to worry about is what I feel. What do you got? Maybe you got something different.
I think I've got something similar as well. A bit more dramatic again. I pulled 5 cards, 3 major arcana. Surprise, surprise. So I'm just going to let rip. And of course, you can also help with the interpretation as well, because there'll be things that will be triggered in your mind. So first card I get to kind of symbolizes the situation is really kind of like what you're talking about. Look, we see it's kind of like a jumble. It's a bit of a struggle. It's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a fight. Some people are saying the economy is doing well, or people are happy now, but then everyone's like, oh, but in the fall, it could get a little bit tricky. Yeah. So let's just say, I think it's fair to say there is not a organized consensus about how it's going to go, because this is the card of what? Infighting and different opinions. Yeah. If we look here, the technical sort of like obstacle position, if we look here, we've got the Emperor. Yeah. Major arcana. Now, the more positive interpretations of this are authority figures, taking action in a bold and striking kind of way. It can also deal with the divine masculine and its more positive elements, but it deals with authority and control. However, this is technically the obstacle position. So this could be maybe a loss of authority and control. Could it be that maybe some established figures and stuff like that maybe get it a little bit wrong, or a patriarchal figure? Maybe it's not being quite read in the correct way. I think it's fair to say authority figures, be they male or female, are not in agreement. That's how I'm going to look at it that way. But look what comes in the middle. Now, you will not believe this. Isn't that 5 times tonight? I think that's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, we're stuck on it.
Can you believe, guys, how many times the tower's come up?
Yeah.
So there could be something. Maybe there is something here, because look, this is a surprising or shocking or event or something that's out of our hands.
Yeah.
Then the next card I get is the, what's that? That's the 5 of Cups. Yeah. So a sadness, a loss over something. However, then the outcome card is a fresh new start. So you know what? I'm with you, Sheila. I think it's going to be bumpy. I think it's going to be like that. And there'll be maybe one big shock in the middle where people lose a bit of money and there's a bit of heave-ho. But then there is this optimism potentially that comes in. And then I pulled some clarifiers because I'm like, let's have a look. And then I got the 7 of Swords. Oh, God, and my mind's gone blank of what the 7 of Swords card looks like. It's just gone out of my head. Because this one is not a literal representation, but we know swords deal with the mind. Yeah. They deal with our thoughts and stuff that's going on. Let me just, why did my mind go blank on that one? Un momento.
Well, what do you feel that it says? Maybe that's what the interpretation is what do you feel when you touch the card?
Well, do you know what I feel is that this is anxiety. Yeah. This is a bit of anxiety here. However, the next card that comes up is the 4 of Wands. Now, the 4 of Wands is sort of like my White House card. So I think the government, of course, are going to try to come in and stabilize things. Yeah, 4 of Wands, all about stability, reaching a landmark. And then we get the 2 of Cups, and this is about relationships, emotions, creating new deals. So I think after a dip in the middle somewhere where the authorities maybe don't get it quite right, there is a sense of loss, but a new optimism and almost kind of people using their minds and brains to get together and create new deals. So I think there'll be a dip, but maybe it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a catastrophe. It may be a small catastrophe for those who play in that and that have enough money to play in that realm, which I don't feel sorry for, to be honest. But anyways, it may be literally in November. It could be just the.
That's the 7 of Swords. I don't know why my mind went blank trying to get away with something.
Trying to get away with it.
Yeah, so there could be a little bit of manipulation there, but carry on with your thought.
So it could be that. I mean, we have a lot of stuff weighing. It could be literally Trump is being held accountable or something along that lines. And there's just some stuff that may take it. And I'm not worried. I think it'll be just fine. I think really a lot of it, and somebody mentioned it in the comments as well. I think 9/10 of that is an illusion. If you can manipulate it by selling stocks and doing this and doing that, that's got to be, then it's not real life.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you used the word manipulation, because what many of us are, because remember there was that 7 of Swords, which is that stealing, manipulation, etc. And what I want to say to people is that irrespective of what is predicted, be it boom or crash, the stock market is so manipulated now that its traditional forecasts almost don't work, because they can go, oh my God, it's all going to crash. And then people make their money and they flip it. And I think there have been several times when the market could have potentially collapsed, and it has been manipulated into a new place where it doesn't quite crash. So let's take it with a pinch of salt, folks. It does look like there is some turbulence there, but it also looks like it's not the end of the world either. So how about that? So Sheila, can you believe it? It's an hour, it's gone.
It goes so fast.
I always forget to say the shows are super quick. It always feels like 20 minutes. It has been brilliant. We have to do this again. That was so much fun. And I really, really like your insights and those extra nuggets that you bring from your own experience as well. So really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone as well for joining us this evening. I hope you really liked it. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification and all that jazz. Sheila's details are in the video description below. And yes, let us know your thoughts. Of course, people will catch up with the video over the next few days, and we'll arrange at some point in the future to do this again. I really enjoyed that, and I just think it's so nice seeing your perspective. But I'll give you the closing words before we click off.
Well, I thank you so much, Hogarth. And we've been wanting to do this for a while, and it has been great. And I love the bouncing off, and I'm still laughing, and this was good fun stuff. And I'm going to invite you onto my channel, and maybe we'll have maybe Lady G and Lena. Maybe we can do a
yes, that would be really cool. Definitely.
I know more can be chaos, but maybe we'll do something fun or something.
Oh, indeed. But we will definitely collab again. That was a lot of fun, went lightning speed, but I learned a lot as well. And particularly as well, what sticks with me is what you said about the mirror empaths. I think that was very interesting. So so we will do it again. So everyone, we will see you until next time, but we'll end the show there for now. And yeah, till the next time, we'll collab again at some point. Bye for now. All right. See you, everyone.